This is episode 37. What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for all the feedback. Thanks for all the encouraging words. Today we're talking about business law. In particular, we're talking about how to buy a business with a focus on leveraged buyouts. You don't really hear much about leveraged buyouts unless it's when they're talking about big corporations on the stock market are using leveraged buyouts to buy another business. We're going to talk about how you can use that for businesses that are not on the stock market, in particular, small businesses. The majority of businesses in America are small businesses. For example, if you have less than roughly 100 employees or you're making less than $1 million a year, you are considered a small business. So you can have 90 employees and still be considered a small business in the US. And I think now is the best time to be looking into buying businesses. I'm always a proponent of buying businesses, not really starting a business, because starting a business is very difficult. But you can leap that failure stage, because 90% of all businesses fail. You can leap that failure stage and get into buying a business. So let's talk about a leveraged buyout. A leveraged buyout is primarily when you're using a lot of debt to buy a business. And what's important to focus on is that the business has enough cash flow. It's making enough profit to cover the debt service. So if the business is not profiting, then it's going to be difficult to get a large amount of loan. For example, you may put 20 to 30% down, and then you'll be able to finance the rest of that. And then with that concept, you will go about either using the cash flow of the business, the profit of the business to pay down the debt, or you'll be able to add value to it to increase the value of that business so you can sell at a higher value. So those are primarily the two aspects of a leveraged buyout. You're either going to pay down the debt or you're going to add some value to it to give it a more inherent value to be able to sell at a larger price. And this is what you see a lot in real estate. Say, for example, you buy a house. I know at least in the US, you can pretty much buy a house for a little bit more than 3% down. So you pretty much just financing the majority of it. So which is similar to a leveraged buyout. Leveraged buyout, you might have to put down 20 to 30% down, but it's similar. You're leveraging, you're going to leverage or going to get a loan for the majority of the purchase price. And then you'll make payments on your real estate every single month, and over time, the debt of the property will go down and the equity that you own into the property will go up. That's very similar to leveraged buyout for a business. And in addition, you can also improve your property. If you have a house, you can add a garage to it, or you can add an outside deck to it, or you can do whatever, which will increase the value of that real estate, and then you can sell it at a higher price later on. And that's the same with a leveraged buyout. A company that you buy, you can actually do things to increase the value of it. You can either fire a CEO, cut down a lot of the staff, and then that'll increase the profits because your expenses are cut. You can probably find cheaper suppliers. You can use economies of scale. You can probably buy businesses, or if you have a bunch of businesses that are similar and then you buy this other business, now all of a sudden you can get cheaper prices. You can buy at bigger bulks. You can use economies of scale, and then now you have a higher value for that business because the business is more valuable because you're joining it with other like businesses. Or if you have an expertise in that particular area, if you're in healthcare or whatever it may be, you can bring your expertise to increase the value. Maybe the business isn't ran properly, so you bring your expertise to it, you can make the business more profitable. So those are some of the aspects of it when it comes to leveraged buyout. And I can't say it enough. I say it a lot. I think now is the best time to be looking into buying businesses because, at least from a numbers perspective, the majority of businesses that are owned, at least not only in the US, but I believe around the world, are owned by baby boomers, the baby boom generation, and they're looking to retire, but they don't have strong succession plans. So you can use that. I know with the SBA, it's typically 10% down and a 650 credit score, and that's all it takes. I mean, say for example, there's a convenience store in your neighborhood that you want to buy. The convenience store may be profiting $50,000 a year, and you can use a multiple. They usually give it a multiple of 3 to 5. Whatever, every industry has a different multiple. Let's say, for example, you give it a 3 multiple. With a multiple of 3, you can buy the business at $150,000. And all you need is 10% down. So that's $15,000. You can save your money. You can get maybe 10 people, and all of a sudden to put that $15,000 down, so that's $1,500 a piece that you all are putting down, and one of you all have the 650 credit score, and all of a sudden you own a convenience store. And then you buy another convenience store. And you can buy another convenience store using that same method, and all of a sudden you can buy in bigger bulks, bigger quantities, and instead of having multiple CEOs of each store, you can just have one general manager that's looking at the entire store, and you can protect it. You can have security. You can there's things you can do to increase the value not only of that store but all the other stores that you're going to buy, and that applies to really any other industry. I mean, you're dealing with healthcare. You're dealing with. I mean, it applies to so many industries, and a leverage buyout is one way to do that. Also, seller financing is a way to do that. I always talk about seller financing. Is the idea is that instead of going to a bank for a loan, you go to the business owner for a loan, and you talk to the person and say, hey, my name is Jeremy Johnson. You just pick up the phone. You can say, my name is Jeremy Johnson. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm interested in buying businesses. I'd like to know if you're interested in selling a business, and if so, I would like to schedule a meeting so we can talk about the ins and outs of how we can go about this process. You can say that, or you can say something better. It's however you want to do it, but a lot of it just requiring just pick up all your courage and just do it. I mean, their business is for sale. A lot of these companies are owned by individuals that want to retire. They just can't retire. They don't have succession plans, but that's one way you would go about doing that. And you deal with a lot of contracts. You deal with financing agreements. You deal with all types of equity agreements. You deal with shareholder agreements. If there's more of you all, you deal with different shareholder agreements or partnership agreements. You'll be dealing with many other contracts. You'll be creating a different entity, maybe a special purpose vehicle. There'll be so many things that you'll be doing when it comes from a legal perspective. You'll be doing a legal due diligence. Does this person actually own the business? Does this person own the trademark, the name, the brand of the business? Has this person been following all the due diligence? Does this person have a decent amount of lease on the property? Or whatever business it is. It can be hair salons. It can be whatever. Just find a bank that specializes in whatever business that you want to buy, and then you can take it from there. So there's so many things you can do, and it's important that you follow all your opportunities, because buying a business, in my opinion, is better than starting a business. But you can start a business. I don't want you to think I'm down on starting a business. A lot of individuals have inherent knowledge. They see a gap in the market. They see what they have a competitive advantage in that particular industry, and they start businesses. Maybe it's not a lot of people who are doing what you do in your area, or they're not doing it in a way that at a high enough level for your tasting, or what you feel the market wants. You can start a business and fill that need. I mean, there's many ways you can do it. You can buy a business, or you can start a business. You can start off with some convenience stores and gas stations, or whatever business you want to get into. Whatever business, liquor stores, whatever healthcare, nursing homes, whatever business you want to get into, and then you can buy that one, and buy another one, buy another one, buy another one, and then you can just sell that portfolio to another entrepreneur, and then you can buy a company off the stock market. You can take that company and put that company on the stock market. There's so many different paths that you can go when it comes to business, and this is a great time to really be in business. I hope you all found some value in this video. This has been episode 37. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We're one step closer to 1,000 episodes. Thanks.
See, you want the fame and I want the chain. We ain't got the same focus. I came in the game with my own